Right, I think we're good. There we go. Hey everybody, Dr. Jamil Sayed here. Really excited to be with you today. Today is our first Transformation Tuesday. Starting in 2020, I made a commitment that every Tuesday I wanted to go live and I wanted to share something with you all that could help to transform your life and help to really make 2020 your best year so far. So today's topic is called Being at Cause. And before we jump in, for those of you who aren't as familiar with my work, maybe you don't know me, my name is Dr. Jamil Sayed. I'm a transformation coach and strategist, and I'm a naturopathic physician. And I help leaders and high performers to solve their problems, accomplish their goals and dreams, and create an extraordinary life without regret, a life on their terms. And to give you a little bit of context, when I say a leader to me is somebody who wants to make a difference in the world. They want to lead a team. They want to serve their family, their community, the world. They want to give back. When I say high performer, that's somebody who wants to take their life to the next level. They want to do the best they can and be the best they can at whatever it is they're doing, especially whatever it is that matters most to them. So without further ado, I got some notes here that I wanted to share with all of you. Without further ado, we're going to get started. If you have any questions throughout the live, questions you want me to answer, just type it into the chat and we'll get to it at the end of the conversation. So, as we said, being at cause. I have one question for you. I think it's a question that's going to be truly important for you to consider every day. And the question is, how are you showing up in the world? Are you showing up as the fullest expression of who you are, as everything you're capable of? Or are you holding back? Are you playing small? Are you coming from fear? Again, how are you showing up in your health? When you go to you're going to the gym, you're working out? How are you showing up in your relationships with your partner, with your kids, at work? Your coworkers, your colleagues, your team? How are you showing up in the world? Now, there isn't one way that we all show up all the time. We all have moments where we're not living up to our full capabilities. We're not living up to the fullest expression of who we are. But where do you live most of the time? Hey guys, I see a few of you are watching. Thank you. Now, something important to consider is that you only consistently show up as the truest, fullest expression of who you are when you know who you are. And let me define that a little bit, because one of the things I love to do is helping people reconnect to their true self, who they really are. This could be a massive conversation, so I'm going to keep it short, but to keep it as brief as possible, you are this moment. You are who you decide to be. A lot of people will think they are their personality, and they say, well, this is just who I am. This is the way that I am. And they don't recognize that the personality is made up. The personality is not static. It's not this unchanging thing. You say, I don't have courage, I'm not confident, that's just the way that I am. But that's not true, because you've had moments in your life where you were confident, moments that you were courageous. An example, somebody could say, I don't have any courage. And then there they are walking down the street, and it happens to be there's an emergency, there's some burning building, there's a little kid in there, and they feel like, I can go save the kid, I'm gonna go rescue him. They run in there, they save the kid's life, and they run out. They didn't think of themselves at all, they just thought about saving this kid's life. And when they come out, people say, where did that come from? That was amazing, I didn't know you had that in you. And they might pause and say, yeah, neither did I. The thing is that the courage was always in you, because every emotional state, every way of being exists within you as a possibility. The question isn't, is it there? The question is, are you using it? So think about it again. How am I showing up in the world? And it's not a matter of because I am a certain way. It's who am I choosing to be? Who am I choosing to be? What's my intention going forward in whatever this area of my life is? So think about that, please. Let me see what else we have here. Yeah, I had a story I wanted to share with you. This is a client of mine. It's a good segue from the story I just shared. This guy wanted to get into a relationship, and he had this girl in his life that he really was attracted to, and he wanted to tell her, and he wanted to ask her out, but he was nervous, and he kept telling himself a story. Oh, maybe she has a boyfriend, maybe she's not interested, she'd never go for someone like me. And he's telling himself these stories like we all do, and he's believing them, and that's impacting the actions that he's taking in the world. In this case, the inaction that he's not doing. And so I sat him down, and we had a great conversation, and when I really felt that he was serious about this girl, he really wanted to go give it a shot, I had him close his eyes and just do a visualization exercise. imagining that he walked up to her, nervous, scared, anxious, all these different emotions, but doing it anyway. Because again, people think that if they're afraid, that means like they shouldn't go forward. You can feel the fear and do it anyway. And so he walks up to her, anxious, nervous, afraid, and he asks her out. And they have a great conversation, and he asks her out. And she finds that cute. This guy was confident enough to walk up to me, and I do find him attractive, and so I'll give him a chance. And they went out. And after they go out in this visualization, the date goes really well. They have a second date, a third date, a fourth date. Eventually, future pace it more, months down the line, they're dating, they're engaged, years down the line, they're married. Then they have these beautiful adventures. After speaking to this client for some time, I knew what he wanted in his life. So I get to connect the dots and say, you and this person are doing these beautiful things in your life. And now they're 95 years old, sitting on a rocking chair, and they're on the front porch of their home, just looking out at a beautiful sunset. And he turns to his then wife and says, you want to hear something crazy? When I first met you, I almost didn't ask you out. I was afraid and nervous you were going to reject me. I was afraid you had a boyfriend. And I'm so glad that I did, because life has been perfect. And then I bring him back to this moment. After having fully experienced that mentally, I asked him the question, is the chance that she might say no and your life stays the same worth the risk that you might say yes and then the visualization you just saw comes to life? In that moment, he got it. He started coming from that place of certainty and confidence and knowing what he wants. He walked up to her. They had a wonderful conversation. Years later, they are married now. And it's freaking incredible that it worked out that way. And again, your personality is an illusion. It's made up. So if you're going to be making it up anyway, you might as well make something up that serves you, make something up that's empowering and helps you get to where you want to be. So I have an exercise here that I wanted to share with you that I think will be really helpful for you going forward. Get a piece of paper if you have one now, or if you're watching the recording later on, whatever it is, get a paper and you write down, I am X, whatever it is you want to be. You say, I am generous, I am loving, I am kind, I am compassionate, I am anything else you want to say. First, you write that down as a declaration. Then you're going to write down a question. Why am I X, whatever that thing is? So for example, I am generous. Why am I generous? Well, I'm generous because it feels good. I'm generous because I like helping people. I'm generous for all these other reasons. And then the third question, how specifically am I generous? Well, last week I did this thing, and yesterday I did this thing, and earlier this morning I helped that person out. Now you're providing evidence to yourself, your conscious, your unconscious mind. You're providing evidence and you're backing up with reasons why you are this emotion, this emotional state. Because a lot of people, they'll try practicing affirmations and they'll say, example, I am generous, I am loving. And that little voice in the head's like, no, you're not. And then it kind of holds you back. But if you recognize that as a declaration, I am whatever it is, and then why am I that? Backing it up with the reasons, how am I that specifically? And then making that final declaration, today I choose to be whatever it is. Today I choose to be generous. And one opportunity I have today to practice my generosity is, and what that would be and what it would look like. I think that is a really powerful way to start solidifying these emotional states that you want to embody in you. Because again, they already exist in there. You've already practiced them throughout your life. You just haven't been identifying with them. So start getting in touch with that. I think it'll make a big difference going forward. If you have any questions, please throw them in the chat. For right now, there's no questions yet. If questions come up later on, I'll be happy to answer them. I'll be checking forward. So that's it. That's all I had for today. So again, thank you so much for tuning in live. If you're watching the recording, I really appreciate it. If any questions come up, type them in the comments and I'll get to them as soon as I can. And if I can serve you going forward, if I can help you to create the dream that you have for your life, I'd love that. Nothing lights me up more than seeing somebody truly happy, living with purpose, and enjoying their life again. I'd love to see you there too. So I'll talk to you soon, and I'm looking forward to it. Goodbye for now.